I knew that what I had been ordered to do was wrong. I said so and was told to get on with it. What else could I do? If I'd not done it, someone else would have done it. But I have always expected to answer for this. This deed I never wished to do. And now, it is the end of the road.
Immediately after the Second World War, the Allies sought justice for crimes committed against them. Britain pursued one war crime more than any other. The investigator was Frank McKenna, ex-detective turned RAF policeman. The crime was murder, the worst atrocity against Allied airmen of the entire war. The victims were 50 unarmed prisoners, shot in cold blood by the Gestapo after the Great Escape.
It was the coldest March for 30 years. There was snow on the ground and the conditions outside were brutal. It was evident to us that the Germans knew that there was a tunnel being built, and they'd searched the block several times, actually, and not found it.
The weather was getting worse, and the processes were all dated, and of course those would be wasted. And that would be an awful long time to have to do them all again. What we had was about 9 months' work.
On the night of March the 24th, 1944, 200 Allied airmen sat packed into Hut 104 at Nazi Germany's most secure prisoner of war camp in Sargen, near the Polish border. They were set to take part in the most ambitious prison breakout of the Second World War. It came to be known as the Great Escape. And it happened because of one man.
Well, I can remember hearing the name Roger Bushell quoted, because he was one of the legendary escaper. He'd been out several times, been stayed out for quite a long time, but then he hadn't appeared back again. And I heard his name being spoken of as somebody who might have been killed. And then I remember a distinct note of elation when people said that Roger Bushell's coming back. And there he was put in charge of escaping. One felt then that the thing was in safe hands.
He was a man of extreme ability, intelligence, and above all, single-mindedness. Whatever he did, he put his whole efforts into it. His real objective was to achieve this grand slam, as it were, the big tunnel.
Bushell harnessed the manpower and skills of the camp. 600 men had spent a year digging, forging documents, and turning uniforms into civilian clothes. What the organization couldn't make had to be acquired. The few German speakers became scroungers, bribing guards for whatever was needed. One of them was Dennis Cochrane, fluent in German since he was 18.
Dennis was the eldest, then was Keith, and then myself, and then a younger brother 4 years later. I think we all knew without any doubt at all that he would be railing against the captivity. He'd be like a caged lion.
Dennis Cochrane had joined the RAF in 1940 and been shot down over the Channel. He'd been a prisoner for over a year.
My mother suddenly died, and we didn't know what to do about telling Dennis. We knew it was be a terrible news for him to have in those circumstances. But of course, as time went on, there was no option but to tell him. And his next letter came back and he said, "This is the worst day of my life." So the news obviously affected him most frightfully. That, I think, would have strengthened his resolve even more so if it had needed it. His letters then were always, "I'll be home soon."
Home was on the mind of many that night. Tom Kirby Green, Bushell's head of security, hadn't seen his wife or young son for more than 2 years.
My adored darling, I am thinking so much of you now, and long so hard for you. I feel so grateful for your love and tenderness, and so humble. Soon, I hope, I shall be able to make the world a paradise for you and for Colin. I love you, darling.
What more can I say? Kisses to you, your Thomas. This is my father's letter written on the day of the escape. Now that letter is shorter than the others because he didn't have much time. But I don't think he probably could find enough words really to say all the things he wanted to say, although he did try. He was basically a very, very gentle person, I think. He liked cars, he loved sailing, and he loved my mother. He really did, enormously. And I think he loved me. I just know that I missed him. And he was this kind of distant sort of hero.
As we came in, we were allocated to a particular part of the hut. The orders were to sit down and stay there until you were called. It was actually remarkably quiet, I think, considering what was about to happen.
I had papers as a Yugoslav woodworker. My colleague I was going with, a chap called Soteris Skanzaklaus, a Greek fighter pilot, he had, of course, had papers as a Greek. My own plan was to get into Czechoslovakia, try and get down the Danube into Greece, where, of course, my partner would have been useful. He might go to help us get over into Turkey, neutral territory. So that was our rather ambitious plan.
I was supposed to be a French worker. I had a smattering of French, schoolboy French, which is and documents which might pass a cursory inspection. I had a small quantity of genuine German currency. which would have been enough to buy me a ticket on a local train where you didn't need a travel permit.